Now, even as the Congress and BJP continue to fight, India Today has accessed crucial documents regarding ownership of Dholpur Palace. The copy of the affidavit filed in Patiala court in 1980 reveals that in 1958 there was a transfer of property. In the affidavit, Vasundhara Raje's ex-husband Hemant Singh claims that the Kaisarbagh Palace was converted to state property and in exchange Dholpur City Palace was handed over to Raje's family. The document war between Congress and the BJP is snowballing as dispute over the ownership of Dholpur Palace only intensifying. Let's go across now to Smita Sharma, who joins us from Jaipur for more on this. Morning, Smita. The best way to perhaps understand this claim and counter-claim as far as the Dholpur Palace is concerned is this country's or this year's biggest paper war that is now brewing between the Congress and the BJP. The Congress each day choosing to highlight one paper. You have a counter paper being presented by the BJP. What more to expect?
Absolutely. Good morning, Sanket, and absolutely, this has become that war of words, it's a war of papers. And interestingly, the BJP, the Congress, of course, hands out those copies of those papers. The BJP, even if those papers actually act in their defense, they somehow seem to be not interested in circulating those copies, asking reporters instead to take the RTI route, which could actually take a few more days, and this controversy would even rage on till then. The papers that I accessed last evening was through some other source, not through the BJP official sources. Now, clearly, while there are a lot of grey areas in this exchange, and not is all hunky-dory as per what the Congress is saying as well, because if that transfer of, that exchange of properties did happen in 1958, as is claimed by Hemant Singh in his legal testimony of 1980, now, assuming that this is not a misdeclaration or misinformation, because we are yet to see that 1958 document, which then means that the Kaisarbagh Palace is a state property as of today, and City Palace Dholpur really belongs back to the family. Now, as far as what else to expect, it's a usual morning outside the CM's residence here at Civil Lines in Jaipur. Now, the Chief Minister last evening, of course, after chairing the cabinet meeting, after her official meetings, she went out for that divine intervention of sorts, attended that Mahayagya. But I think there will be, in fact, some digging in that will happen. Perhaps now that the Congress has tried raising questions about whom does the property really belong to, they will go back to the fact that, there has also been a problem in terms of that purchase of Dholpur City Palace with that loan of 2 crore and 60 lakh something, and then, of course, fixing it at a price of 100 crores, and the role of Anand Heritage in all of this, the company which is, of course, owned by Lalit Modi.
Absolutely, Smita. And, that really is the controversy over here, because as far as the Congress is concerned, it wants to highlight the fact, whether who actually owns the Dholpur Palace. Do you think that at the center of it all is perhaps, a legal case over the title suit? Who owns Dholpur Palace?
Yes, it is, and that case has been sub judice. The trial went on for almost 3 decades, and it was actually settled in 2007. Now, the ruling, as I could see, the ruling does mention that it has to be read along with Para 9, as well as some other schedules which deals with both movable and immovable property. So there seems to be, in fact, some truth to what the BJP seems to be claiming about, in fact, the title range. But there are other questions, definitely, as far as this property is concerned, as far as the party really has gone ahead.
Just for the benefit of our viewers, can you just clarify, just for the benefit of our viewers, my final question to you, if you could clarify what really was this court verdict? Because the point that you actually mentioned about movable and immovable, the Congress in its press conference actually claimed that Dushyant Raje may be the owner of movable property. Movable property would amount to chairs, tables, artifacts. But the immovable asset, that is the palace itself, does not belong to Dushyant Raje.
Well, if you go through the ruling, Sanket, it talks about saying that you have to read this ruling along with Para 9, which actually deals with the immovable property, with the building itself, along with some other schedules which then deal with the movable property. Now, the Congress in its questioning, remember, has raised two questions again on this verdict. They say that this was an internal family settlement, but which does not settle the title dispute once and for all. And it is in this regard that, you know, the BJP produced that 1980 affidavit which mentions the 1958 property exchanges transfer, which the Congress had not spoken about. They had spoken about the 1949 instrument of accession, which initially ensured that the city palace would be a state property where Maharaja Uday Bhan Singh, its original ruler, was allowed to live for his lifetime. But if that exchange of property did happen in 1958, then there is a case, of course, for the Rajes here, which they can build on.
Okay. Okay. Smita Sharma, many thanks for joining us at this moment from Jaipur. So this is far from over.